Hey, welcome back to Drowning in Yarn. I'm Caleb. Today I want to talk to you about test knitting. I have a few simple questions that I ask myself before I volunteer or apply for a test knit that I want to share with you because you may find them helpful as well. Then, because I never really know if I'm being a good test knitter or a useful test knitter, I reached out to Summer Lee, Jean-Philippe Cliche, Max the Knitter or Maxim Sear, Stephen West, and Tif Neilan to ask them what makes for a good and helpful test knitter. If you want to chat about test knitting, then stick around. So test knitting is when a pattern designer sends a draft of the pattern to a group of knitters that they've chosen to see if those people can turn the instructions in that pattern into a finished object. This process is super helpful to the designer because it helps them make sure that any errors or mistakes that are in the pattern draft are found before they release it. And it also helps them to improve the pattern and to make sure that it's clear and that anybody can be successful knitting from that pattern. But before I get to the questions that I ask myself to make sure that test knitting is right for me at that time, and before I share tips from those popular pattern designers, I want to talk to you about why people don't like test knitting. But don't worry, right after that, I'm going to tell you all the reasons why you should test knit. Personally, whenever I've disliked test knitting, it's because I'm taking on too much and I'm knitting up against a clock. And I'm not alone in disliking deadlines. I reached out to my followers on Instagram and asked them what things about test knitting they're not a fan of, and the number one answer was deadlines or time pressure of some sort. Most people just generally didn't like knitting up against a clock. Other reasons people cited for having not enjoyed test knitting in the past are feeling like you're doing free labor with the only compensation being a free pattern, or feeling a lack of confidence in their own skills, which could lead to them not even being able to complete the project, let alone meet the deadline. So if you take all of that together, then it seems like I've given you enough reason to never test knit again, right? But that's not true. I also asked everybody what things they did like about test knitting, and the answers that I got were overwhelmingly positive, they were more varied, and they overcame a lot of these concerns because some of the same people that gave me things that they love about test knitting said those things that they didn't like, and they still do it. Whenever I've test knit in the past, even if I felt stressed by knitting up against a deadline, it made me feel like I was contributing something besides just a finished object photo on Instagram. And I'm not alone in feeling that way. A lot of people said that they really enjoyed feeling like they're helping the designers and made them feel like their knitting was useful. And even more important than that, people often said that it made them feel a sense of camaraderie with the other test knitters and that they felt like they were part of a little community, that it could even feel like a little mini knit along. But those weren't the only reasons why people enjoyed it. Some people like that you get a free pattern when you test knit, while others really enjoyed that you often get a discount on yarn if the designer's working together with a dyer or a yarn company, and that can make the project more affordable or even make yarn accessible to you that may not have otherwise been affordable. Other people said that they really enjoyed that some test knits pushed them to learn new things. And believe it or not, but one of the reasons people really liked test knitting was the same reason why a bunch of people really didn't like it, and that is deadlines. Some people said that without the deadline, they tend not to finish projects. So if you are a person who casts on a lot and doesn't finish all those things, knitting up against the clock can give you that motivation to finish a project that you really enjoy. So personally, I can relate to all the reasons not to test knit and all the reasons to do it. So in order to balance that out and make sure I'm only agreeing to test knit whenever I really want to be doing it, I have a few simple questions that I ask myself to make sure that at that time, test knitting that project is the right thing for me. First, and most importantly, you really need to enjoy the test knitting process and you need to enjoy what you're making. So I always ask myself, if I wasn't going to get this pattern for free, would I buy it otherwise? And if the answer to that question is no, then game over. I'm not going to apply to test knit for that pattern. Then before I sign up or apply to test knit, I'll often ask myself if the kind of project is the kind of project I want to be knitting right now. If it's a sock pattern test knit or a sweater pattern test knit, but I'm not in the mood to knit a sock or a sweater right now, then I'm not going to enjoy the process, so I won't apply to test knit for that designer at that time. It really doesn't matter if it's the cutest sweater or the cutest pair of socks you've ever seen. It's just not going to be fun if you're not in the mood to knit that thing. And the last thing that I ask myself, which is also extremely important, is do I realistically have time to finish this object up against that deadline that they're going to give me without having to put everything else aside and without having to give up on other obligations or other things I just want to be doing? And if the answers to all three of those questions is yes, then I apply to test knit. These questions just help me to make sure that whenever I volunteer or apply to test knit, that I actually want to be doing it. And I think this is something that the designers would want as well. They want enthusiastic and helpful test knitters, and that's most likely to happen when people are sure that test knitting is the right thing for them at that time. So answering those questions is how I've found myself test knitting all the projects that I've test knit in the past. But once I start, I always have this little fear of, what if I'm not a good test knitter? What if I'm not being helpful? To figure that out and to get tips on being a good or better test knitter, I reached out to some popular designers. Not just because they're popular, but because they've been through this test knitting process with a lot of people a lot of times, and they know what makes for a successful test knit. So first I reached out to Summer Lee of Summer Lee Design Co., who you all know designs some of my favorite sock patterns. And she told me that she likes having a lot of different people who all bring their own personal, unique perspective to the test knitting process. Because everybody's bringing their own unique perspective, the feedback tends to go beyond just pointing out problems with math or pointing out typos in the patterns. And it extends to things like tweaking a layout to make it a little bit more digestible and a little bit easier to follow. So if you're test knitting and you have some particular skill or you think something is worth mentioning, then speak up, because you may be pointing out something that not everybody else is going to see. And that can overall really improve the pattern and make the process more successful. And next, I reached out to Stephen West, who also really appreciates when people bring their unique perspective. Stephen, though, mentioned that he really likes when people modify the yarns that are used in a pattern or choose unique colors, because that can inspire knitters that come along after them. Secondly, Stephen told me, and this is super important, but he really values when people give him accurate yardage estimates, because that really helps him determine the right yardage to put in the pattern so that when he releases it, people don't end up with too little yarn and they're not able to finish a project. I also reached out to Tif Neilan, and she had similar feedback. She said it's really useful to have a kitchen scale on hand so that you can measure the weight of your yarn when you start and when you're finished test knitting, and then use that information to determine an accurate yardage estimate for your project. If you don't know how to do this, I'm going to leave a link down below in the description with some information on measuring your yardage by weight. Relatedly, Tiff mentioned that it's really important to swatch, swatch, and swatch again, and then to block your swatch so that your gauge is accurate, which also helps in determining accurate yardage recommendations for a final pattern. Finally, Tiff mentioned that if you're unsure of any instructions, you should reach out to the designer, and you should do the same if you're thinking of making any modifications, because it becomes a different project altogether, and the information that you gather and the feedback that you give may not actually be helpful to the designer at that point. So if you're unsure, you should ask. Jean-Philippe Cliche of Atelier Cliche mentioned asking questions of the designer as well. He said, if you're unsure of an instruction or how to do something, it's helpful to ask the designer, because it's possible that the instructions in the pattern aren't as clear as the designer may like for them to be. And so asking that question operates as feedback and lets them know where there may be weaknesses in the pattern. Next, he suggested that you read the pattern while you're test knitting as if you are a new knitter, even if you're an experienced knitter. I think it's important to ask yourself if an instruction was sufficiently clear, or if you just know how to do something so you didn't notice that something could be improved. Giving that information to the designer could be really helpful. He also said to make sure that whenever you apply to test knit and you agree to do it, that you actually have time to finish it. Now, if you ask yourself the 3 questions that I told you I asked myself before applying for a test knit, you already know that you do. Finally, he said that mistakes and problems with the pattern are a super normal part of the process. Hopefully there are none, but don't be afraid if there's a mistake. Just let the designer know and figure out how to move forward. And this brings me to Maxim Sear, or Max the Knitter as you may know him. Max said to remember, if there's a mistake, be really nice about it, because the designer is probably not happy to see the mistake, and it's not going to help anybody enjoy the process more if you're unkind about a mistake that you find. Just let them know and talk to them about it. Finally, Max mentioned, and I think this is key, but you should treat the test knit as if it's a normal project. The deadline is there, but it should be a motivator and not a burden. Remember that knitting is supposed to be fun, and you should have fun during the process. So that's all I have for you. I'm going to apply all these tips to my own test knitting that I'm doing right now, and I hope they were useful to you if you do decide to test knit in the future. And if you have an experience that would be helpful to others, be Be sure to leave it down in the comments below. I would love to hear from you all. If you enjoyed this video and you got some value out of it, I would love if you hit that little like button down below. And if you want to see more knitting related content in the future, hit that subscribe button and the bell next to it to be notified when I post more videos. In the meantime, I'm gonna get back to my test knits, so I hope you enjoy your knitting and I will see you later.